In December 1915, as the northern regions of Japan entered a severe winter, residents of Sankebetsu Village in western Hokkaido began storing food and grains for the winter. Ota, a villager, returned home after his morning chores to a horrifying scene. His home was in disarray, blood was everywhere, and his young child remained headless on a chair. The floor was covered in unidentifiable pieces of flesh and fur. A large hole was torn in the wall, and his young wife was missing. Shocked and terrified, Ota rushed to the village for help. Villagers who came to assist speculated that this could be the work of a brown bear, as only such a beast could break into a house and attack humans on the entire island of Hokkaido.
Hey, welcome back. Today I'm sharing a story about the worst animal killing incident in Japanese history, what is now known as the Sankebetsu brown bear incident. It is brutal, eerie, and terrorized the mind of a nation for decades after. Here's the story.
A sense of terror permeated the nearby mountain village. The next day, to avoid bear attacks, villagers collectively migrated to the downstream of Sankebetsu. The remaining villagers formed a hunting party to venture into the snowy mountains in search of the human-eating beast. Following the blood trail, they quickly discovered a two-legged corpse in the snow, identified as Oda's missing wife based on her clothing. She had been crudely buried in the snow, clearly the work of an animal storing food. After the hunting party searched the surroundings but finding no other clues, a villager named Miyoki sought the help of a renowned bear hunter named Yamamoto Heikichi. Upon hearing Miyoki's description, Yamamoto proposed a chilling theory. The monster that appeared in Sankebetsu was likely a large brown bear known as Kesagaki. It's named after its distinctive diagonal scar on its chest and had a peculiar habit of walking upright, resembling a figure draped in a Buddhist monk's robe. This bear had already eaten several people and developed a taste for human flesh, particularly favoring female. This matched the gruesome events in Sankebetsu perfectly. If it was indeed Kesagaki, all villagers were in grave danger. This bear had acquired extensive experience in eating humans, becoming exceptionally cunning and terrifying. Yamamoto instructed Miyoki to quickly inform the villagers to evacuate, and promised he would rush to Sankebetsu after retrieving his trusted hunting rifle. When news of the Ota family attack was first received by the Miyoki family, women and children sought refuge at Miyoki's house, while guardsmen patrolled outside. On the night of December 10th, the bear reappeared near Ota's farm. The guardsmen were having dinner when the news reached them, and they quickly marched off. By the time they arrived, however, the bear had vanished into the woods again. So they headed downstream on what was thought to be the bear's trail, not knowing what a fatal mistake it was. December 10th, the same night, Miyoki's wife Yayo was preparing a late meal in her house for the refugees while carrying her fourth son on her back. She heard a rumbling noise, and their thatched roof hut began shaking violently. Before she could investigate, a terrifying bear head broke in through the window, sporting a massive scar on its neck and shoulder. It was the dreaded Kesagaki. The brown bear quickly barged into the house. It appeared experienced, extinguishing the hearth to avoid harm, and then targeted the people. Yayo tried to flee the house, but her son clung to her leg, was tripping her as she ran. The bear seized her immediately and bit the child. an elderly man tried to distract the bear away by running and hiding behind the furniture, but was clawed in the back. The bear then hunted down Miyoki's children one by one. The third son, bitten by the brown bear, was thrown around like a toy on the ground. As the beast prepared to consume the despairing mother, it was suddenly drawn to a unique scent. Subsequently, from a corner in the bedroom, it dragged out a pregnant woman who had been hiding. Amid helpless pleas, the brown bear slowly devoured her body, and the sounds of gruesome chewing and agonizing screams echoed through the silent village. The guardsmen hurried back to the house after realizing that what they were tracking was not in fact the bear trail, and arrived just too late. As they were about to surround the house, Kesagaki seized the mutilated body of the pregnant woman and ran into the forest amid the chaos. In less than 2 days, this brown bear had already claimed 7 lives, left 3 severely injured, all done with extreme cruelty. This unprecedented wildlife attack sent shockwaves throughout the entire Hokkaido region, and local authorities began to realize the significance of the situation. After December 12th, the Hokkaido police and local troops dispatched 30 soldiers with 60 rifles to assist the hunting party. A sniper team was organized. Guns and volunteers for the team were gathered from nearby towns and entered the mountains for a large-scale search operation. Despite expectations of a swift capture, the beast remained elusive for several days. The hunting party tried to set a trap with the remaining corpses from Miyoki's house, hoping to lure the bear back in. Curiously, that night, Kesagaki did reappear, but just before entering the shooting range, it inexplicably turned away, announcing the failure of this plan. At the same time, while the villagers all fled Sankebetsu, it roamed back into the deserted farms, damaged 8 houses, ransacked the winter food stockpiles, and displayed a distinct interest in the women's clothes and pillows. The brown bear's sense of smell is over 7 times that of a hunting dog, and Kesagaki's cunning behavior surpassed what people could imagine of an ordinary animal. Despite the continuously expanding scale of the government-led hunting party, now consisted of 600 people, and reaching the highest level in Japanese history for wildlife control, there was still no success. As panic spread throughout the western part of Hokkaido, people began to feel increasingly desperate. It was then that Yamamoto Heikichi, armed with his recovered rifle, finally arrived in Sankebetsu. Conducting a detailed investigation at the crime scenes, he used his extensive experience and understanding of brown bear behavior to help the police devise a new bear hunting strategy. One night, the sniper at the bridge spotted a quiet dark figure standing by the river. Thinking it was a man, they shouted at it, yet receiving no response. As if realizing something, Yamamoto immediately fired across the river. To everyone's disbelief, the dark figure suddenly dropped to all fours and ran into the deep mountains. The next morning, a team investigated the opposite shore and found a bear's footprint and blood there. Given that Kesagaki had been wounded and that imminent snowstorms were threatening to cover any tracks, it was decided that this was the most critical opportunity to hunt down and kill the bear. On December the 14th, Yamamoto decided to pursue the bear with a team of 2, as it would be quicker and more quiet than a large team. He covered himself in mud to mask his scent. Finally, under an oak tree, Yamamoto spotted the bear strolling about. It was drawn by the larger group's presence below and remained completely unaware of the impending danger. Yamamoto held his breath, slowly approached, and within a range of 20 meters, he fired the first shot at the bear's heart. Enraged, Kesagaki charged towards him. Yamamoto quickly stepped back and fired the second bullet aimed for its eye socket. The terrifying creature, now with a pierced brain, finally collapsed with a resounding thud. The body of Kesagaki was carried back to the village by the hunting party. It was found that its body length was 2.7 meters, and its weight reached a staggering 380 kilograms. To bid farewell to this horrifying memory, the residents of Sankebetsu burned down all their huts, forever parting ways with this dreadful place. This story was brought to you by Ravensbeak. I hope you had a scary bedtime.